Hey, yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Slaya, and I have a really funny story today to tell you guys. I mean, it was kind of scary, but it's kind of not. Um, it's about the time me and my two other friends got jumped, and with this quarantine going on, there's really not much to do. You're not really supposed to hang out with your friends. Nothing's really open, right? So, with me just graduating school for 2020, right? What do you really do when you don't have school every day? Well, and it's summertime, all you can really do is work, pick up work full time. So really all I've been doing is working, right? But on the days I have off, I like to, instead of sitting at home, I like to go out with some friends or do whatever. Well, with this quarantine, it's harder to do stuff with your friends. You got to wear masks, you have to do all, basically everything to follow the guidelines, right? Well, we decided what we're going to do is, just like any other kids around our age, you know, between like 15 or even 14 to like 20, you gotta explore, right? So we decided there's this place really close by, and yeah, it's really kind of scary at night. It's like a road that leads back in like 3 miles into like just the woods. There's a railroad track, and there's one single house back this road, right? And it's supposed to be haunted. So, me and my friends, me and my two other friends, we decided, we're gonna take this road, right? Well, we were in my friend's little GEO track. I don't know if you know what that is, but maybe I'll try and put a picture up here in the video. But it's basically just, it was a two-door, had, the back row seats. But it's kind of like to the size where someone like me that's 6'2", I can put my legs on the other side and like kind of like lay down in the back, if that makes any sense, like lay sideways to give me some room, leg room. Because like there's really not a lot of room in any of the car at all. There's really nowhere. Like once the back seat's up, there's really no room at all in the back. In the front, you're not having a lot of room. Like it might be like a small. You ever seen like a Chevy Track, or if you ever been in a smart car, kind of like that. So this story takes back about 6 months ago, right? Kind of towards the beginning of the quarantine, right? And well, basically, we decided, let's go on a little trip, right? So we used to drive around for a couple hours. Well, we decided one day, we just got some food. We were like, you know what, we got a couple hours to get rid of. So we decided, let's go and take a little fun drive down this haunted road. So we get about halfway, and like I said, it's about 3 miles. So the house is about 2.5 miles in. So we're sitting there, right? And this road's, something just doesn't feel right. It's kind of like, it's not really, I guess, scary, but like we saw like weird things. We could see flashing lights, and we didn't know what the fuck it was. So we decided, okay, let's stop. Let's shut off the car. This is where it's gonna go bad. So we shut off the lights, or not the lights. We shut off the car, but then we had 2 clicks or 1 click. I don't know. I wasn't really driving, but it was just enough to have the lights on, right? So we get out and we're just chilling. We get 1 bar, sometimes 0. It's weird, like back there. So we're kind of like, all right, well, in my head, I'm like, all right, guys, if something goes wrong, we only have 1 bar, if not any. So that's not really enough to contact anyone. So if we have to walk out 2 miles or a mile and a half, because we were already like a mile and a half in. We have to walk a mile and a half out, or we have to walk a mile and a half the other way past this house. It's scary with a barn all broken down. So we got out, and there was like a little train track. There was a train track right to our right, but there's also a little body of water. So in my eyes, I was kind of like, "Yo, guys, let's go check out this little body of water." It was kind of like a stream, if that makes sense. But it was like to a point where it wasn't like your normal backyard stream. It was a little bit bigger, but it wasn't no huge like 20-foot across stream. It was more or less like maybe 5 foot, maybe 5 to 7 foot across. And I was just like, all right, cool. Like it was enough you can jump over. Like if you take a little head start, and like the way it was setting, if you were above it, because there was a foot drop. So if you ran and you jumped off that, you're gonna make it to the other side. Now getting back across would be a little bit harder, but just a little bit downstream. There's a little way where it was like thinner, so you could easily go across. And like in the one area, I'm sure it wasn't no much deeper than like 6 inches. So we were good in that aspect to get out and cross it, do whatever. But the funny thing is, right, we left the car on with the lights so we could see, because it was basically like 9:30, and like I don't know if you guys know, but like towards the beginning of the year, once it hits like 8:30, 9 o'clock. It's almost like pitch black out. You know. So we were in the middle of the woods, so it's even darker. We got all the trees around us. But the thing that was scary was we heard noises. So we didn't know if it was an animal or something. Well, I look up and I shine my flashlight because I had like one of these really strong flashlights on me. Well, I had my phone, but your phone, it's really good in front of you, but it's not like really good for distance. So my friends, that's all they had was their phone. And my friend left his keys in his car because it was turned on with the lights on. So I was like, okay, let me shine my light up there. Well, I shone it up at the tree, and I seen like something black, and I was like, guys, I just seen something. They were like, no, stop playing, stop playing. Well, truth be told, it was the guy that lived at the house. He was dressed up, and yeah, he had a wrench, and he started chasing us. So we took off running. I was like, oh shoot, like run. But then we went across the stream because we were on the other side. We were just checking it out. We jumped across the stream. My one friend was already across because he jumped across just to see if it was possible. Because we were actually going to check it out and leave. So he would have been fine anyway if he got wet. He was on his way back, and he was like, he just got across down there downstream where the short end is, and he walked across that. And we were just getting ready, and then the guy started chasing us, and that's when I found him. And like it wasn't like where the guy was that far away. Like the guy with the wrench was probably, I don't know, 75 feet away. He was just across the road, maybe 20 foot up on that road. And we were like 30, 40 from the road on the other end. And my friend was like 10 foot, maybe 20. He was like another 20 downstream crossing. And then my friend was right beside me. He was like 10 foot away, maybe not even that. But yeah, so the guy started chasing us. We took off running, I was like, yo, run. And then I thought about it. I was like, wait a second. Why am I running out of all people, right? So I told my friends, I was like, yo, stop. I stopped, right? And I turned around and I shined the light on. And this dude, he just stops running at us, right? He's just on the other side of the road. So he just passed my friend's car and he's sitting there. So he didn't cross the lake yet. And we're about, I don't know, we're by the train tracks, right? Like we are almost on the train tracks. And now I said, you know what, guys, let's just walk towards him. And I whispered so he didn't hear it. And I started walking towards the guy, and he didn't move. He just stood there, hitting the wrench in his hand, like this, hitting off it. And then I took off running at him, right, just to see what would happen. And the dude takes off and runs up over the hill, like by the road to the left where he was before. Behind there's trees, and then up a little bit more, there's like a little hill. So he ran up over the hill, and, I was like, we ain't going to chase him over that because that's definitely stupid, That's how you get lost, and that's how things happen in horror movies. So I was like, you know what? We're just going to get in the car and leave. Well, then we're sitting in the car, right? We all get in, and I was like, yo, bro, start the car. And it wouldn't start. So we thought, like, maybe the battery went dead. And I was like, there's no way the battery goes dead. Like, this whole time, guys, this was only, like, 3 minutes at most, right? 3 at tops, 5 minutes. So I'm, like, wondering what the heck's going on. Well, they thought the battery was dead, but I was like, it can't be dead if, like, you're still getting a little bit of things. So I was like, maybe you don't have enough to start, but I was like, this just doesn't make sense, It's only been for like 3 minutes. Like if your battery's that bad, there's a problem. Well, then I get out. I'm like, yo, let's check this. I had my friend, he was looking all around, making sure the guy wasn't around anymore. No animals, no nothing. And then me and my other friend, we got out and we were looking at his car, right? And we were wondering why. Well, we didn't think to look at it right away. Whenever the first time it happened, we thought the battery died, but he has a loose wire on his battery. So sometimes, when we were driving on those trails, it's not necessarily the flattest, so there's bumps and stuff. And I guess his battery wire or something moved, and it wasn't getting full connectivity. So when we did that, it started right up, and we took off driving. We went the other way, the way we came from. We didn't want to risk it going the whole way, passing this dude's house and barn. There's no way he made it half a mile in like, a minute. But we didn't want to risk it. He could have hit one of the windows or something with the thing. He could have threw it at us. So we just decided to back up out of there. So basically, we turned around in that little spot. We drove forward like, I think it was like 100 feet. And then there was little turnoffs because that's where you could go take a right and then go down to the railroad with a vehicle or whatever. And then left would be up towards the road towards his house. So we decided, we're just going to take that, spin around right there, and then leave. That was about like 6 months ago. We haven't been back. We actually think we want to go back, and I kind of was thinking maybe I could even record and then put that on the channel of going back the road around like 9-10 o'clock at night. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my truck then, because my truck doesn't have any issues. Definitely the better vehicle to be driving back through the trails faster. It's faster. It definitely doesn't have any problems, with the loose battery. Just imagine we're driving and all of a sudden this battery just disconnects and something goes wrong and we're getting chased or something. That's just not a good situation to be in. It's not. I wouldn't say I would be scared. I mean, I guess I would be a little bit, but like, there's 3 of us, one of them, or like I'm not one to say anything, but I will tear someone up. Okay. And my friends know this because like every fight I've ever been in, it's usually over within. I'm not even gonna say, but I'm gonna just say, it's done pretty quick. Like even when I was in like middle school, I'd be the one fighting high schoolers and stuff like that. So it's not even like, it's just one of those, like, I'm just built different. I just have a good body type. I got wide shoulders. I'm really good at lifting, stuff like that. So like, I mean, not saying that like I'm not scared of anyone, but it's just like I don't have to worry. Like, I'm not no 5'2", 120 pounds. Well, my friend, my one friend, he's like 5'5", 5'6", and he's like 120. That's not my situation. So, but yeah, I would like to go back sometime and definitely record it for video. But yeah, it's been Slay, and this has been the story about the time my friends and I almost got jumped by the Pennsylvania Killer.